Why are we careful to eat handmade matzah as opposed to machine matzah?
Traditionally, matzah was all the years made by people, was always made in a very, very careful and a very, very clean way, obviously a very, very fast way, in order to make the best matzahs. About 200 years ago, started inventing these machines. Back then, they were very, very slow machines, but the idea was to make machines, to make matzahs that should be made in a cleaner way, in a faster way. This was an invention that came out, and together with this idea of machine matzahs, started coming up big, big answers from many Gdolei and Rabbonei Yisrael. Yes, in one hand, a machine matzah goes much, much faster. On the other hand, there's a big problem that came up back then in those years, that it was almost impossible to clean the machines in a very, very good way. We know that on Pesach, even one crumb of chametz could cause big, big problems. It's not bottle. How could somebody take himself into his responsibility? How could take upon himself such a responsibility of cleaning these machines? Today, however, a lot of these machines are made with a self-cleaning system that really kashes them and cleans them in an unbelievable way. So what's the reason, if today's machines are so good and so clean, that we still try to have handmade matzah? Well, even though machines today are very, very clean, even though machines today are very, very fast, there's one thing that they were not able to invent, even in the Y generation, even in a generation that already sends human beings up to the moon and maybe soon to Mars. There's one thing they were not able to invent in the machine, and that is a machine that could have kavanah. No machine could have the right intention, that as it's mixing and rolling out the matzahs, it's doing it with the kavanah, with the intention, l'shem matzahs mitzvah. And according to many, many poskim, the process of making the matzah has to be with the right intention. Yes, there are some poskim that say that by the machines it's enough that a man should turn on the machine with the right kavanah. It's a long sugya in Maseches Chulin when it comes to shchita. If the koyach of a person is enough when he doesn't just directly cause something, but it is a cause of a cause. When somebody turns on the machine doesn't directly do it based on the order, on the fact that he pressed the power button, but it's a cause that's caused through that. Is that considered koichoy or koyach koichoy? Is that called made with kavanah or not? Being that it's such a big dilemma, obviously when it comes to the Seder, most people try by the Seder to have handmade matzah that was done l'shem mitzvah, l'shem matzahs mitzvah, l'shem mitzvah, that it was done with the right intention. During the week, there are some that are matir to have machine matzah. The Rebbe writes that being that matzah is not just the fact that it's the process of doing it. The matzah has to do a lot with meichlo demeim nusa. A lot of it has to do with bread of faith. A lot of it has to do with a lot of spiritual things. Even the matzah we eat during the week, says the Rebbe, should be matzah that's made by people, that's made by the right, together with the right kavanas. The Rebbe writes that even for children, you should be careful that the whole week they should have handmade matzah. Nevertheless, we know for a fact that the Rebbe Rashab in the First World War, when the Rebbe Rashab sent packages to soldiers, Jewish soldiers that were fighting, we know for a fact that in these packages there were some machine matzahs, meaning the Rebbe Rashab did not hold chashom that it's not kosher lePesach, but it's a hanhaga, it's the right thing to do, that chsidim, people that follow the Rabbeim, should only be eating handmade matzah and not have machine matzah in the house the whole entire week.